Hi and welcome to I Design My Life. I'm Sumit and I'm a life and a mind coach. So today we are going to continue from where we left last time. So last time we were discussing about SMART framework. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable or attainable, R stands for realistic and T stands for time bound. So today we are going to stretch this framework a little more and include three more important elements: P, C and E. So what does P, C and E stand for? P stands for positively stated, C stands for in your control, and E stands for ecological in nature. And this is where we are going to spend our time today in this video. So I'm going to take my previous goal, which I created in the last session, and I'm going to add this P, C and E framework into this. And this is what we'll concentrate on today. So let's look at the P section first. What does P mean? P means positively stated. That means whatever goal we have chosen should be positively stated. So let's say in my goal is I want to reduce weight. So I've already stated it positively. But if you're creating a goal, something like that, I'm not going to be stressed, then that's not a nice goal to keep. So the way you have to state it positively is you will have to say or create something like, I'm going to be peaceful, I'm not going to be stressed is not the right goal. I'm going to be peaceful is the right goal, right? So our goals have to be positively stated. Now we are going to come on to the C section of this PCE thing which we are going to talk about. This is the most important thing because this will lead us to something very important. So please hear out. The C is the most important thing. And C stands for in your control. So I'm going to state my goal once again. So my goal in the previous video was to reduce my weight by 5 kgs in the upcoming 2 months. Now if you see, this is a kind of an outcome. This is where I want to be. But if you look at today, I need to know the steps. I need to know the action that I need to take to get there. So if you see, this outcome is not entirely in my control. I might do all the exercise, I might do all the dieting, and still I might not be there at exactly 5 kgs. I might be 6 kgs lighter or I might be 3 kgs lighter. So this outcome is something which I'm not controlling and it is not in my control. So when we are creating our goals, we have to ensure that we have to bring it in our control. Whatever we need to do has to be in our control. So let me give you a few more examples just to emphasize this point. Let's say you keep a goal that I want to top the IAS exam. Now, that's not in your control. You might put your best effort, but still somewhere in India, somewhere in remote location, there might be someone who would be preparing better than you and he would come first. So coming first or topping the IAS exam cannot be your goal. It can be an outcome goal, but you cannot do anything about it because it's not in your control. There are a lot of other dependencies in that as well, right? So this is what I mean by outcome. And outcome goals are not in our control. So what do I need to do to bring this thing back in my control? Friends, what we need to do is we need to bring the process in our control. If I want to top the IAS exam, then what I control is my preparation. What I am going to do to get there. So once you have set up an outcome goal, the next important thing we need to do is set up a process goal. So what are those important things which I will do, which will take me there? And that is what the process is. So you are here, that's your goal, and this is the road you have to take to go there. And that's where you bring your control. So your effort is in your control. The number of hours you put in to work on your goal is in your control. But will you top the IAS exam? That's not in your control because there might be someone else who might just stop it, who might be little better than you, who might have prepared better than you, might have been lucky on the examination day. So that's not in your control. So what we have to do is, every time we set up an outcome goal, we have to just set it up and keep it there, and then concentrate on the process goal, because process goal gives us the control, because process is about us. Process is about us following our methods. So the question we need to look at now is, how do I create a process goal? So process goal is nothing but the number of steps or the steps which you need to take to reach your goal. So I'm going to again restate my goal over here. I want to reduce 5 kgs in 2 months time. So this is my outcome goal. So there are 2 things I need to do to reach my outcome goal, and these are to exercise and to eat healthy food. So these are the only 2 things. If I do properly, I will be able to reach closer to my goals, and these are in my control, right? So here is how I'm going to construct my process goal. Now before I construct my process goal, I need to construct the activities which I believe, to the best of my knowledge at this point in time, that will take me closer to my goals. So those 2 activities are eating healthy and exercising. So let's create a tracker over here right now. So this tracker will have first column as the date, and you can stretch the date for, let's say, upcoming 2 months, and we will put a column for diet, and we'll put another column for exercise, and the third column would be measurement, because every week I would like to measure whatever steps I am taking, whether they are creating any difference or not. So let's say I am 90 kgs right now. So after 7 days, if I'm taking the right amount of steps, if I'm following my process, then ideally I should see some kind of a reduction, because that would be a validation of my process. So once I've created this tracker, and I'm going to call this as my success tracker, or a daily tracker, or a daily ritual, you can name it whatever you want to. But we need to put the steps and break our bigger goal into small manageable chunks, which you have to work on each and every day. And we have created our tracker. So now let's see how we create this process goal. Now my goal is to follow my diet plan and my exercise plan every day of the week for the upcoming 60 days. So this is what my process goal is, that I will stick to my process for the coming 60 days, and I have already defined my process. So now I've brought this thing in my control. Now my bigger 5 kg goal, which I want to reduce, has become a small manageable goal, and I'm calling it a process goal. And this is something I will do on day-to-day basis, and this will take me over there. And this is what you have to do as well with whatever goal you have created for yourself. Break it down into activities which you can do on daily basis, and then create a process goal out of it. I'm again repeating my process goal. My goal is to stick to my process for the next 60 days, and that's all. So create something like this tracker and stick to it. If you need any help around this, then as always, please do not hesitate to send us an email. We will get back to you. So till now, I've covered 2 important portions. I've covered positively stated, I've covered in your control. Now we are going to come to the next important E part of PCE, and E stands for ecological. And this is also where most of the people make mistake. Ecological means that the process goal which you have created till now should fit your lifestyle. It should be sustainable for a longer period of time. So what do I mean? Let's say in my goal, if I put something like that I'm going to eat salads for the next 40 days. Now I'm a foodie. I cannot live without sweets and nice food. So I have to have them. So I cannot put in something like which I cannot make a part of my lifestyle. It is very difficult to do, because a day will come when I'll again binge on food, because my body will crave for that. So whatever steps you are putting, you have to ensure that they should become a part of your lifestyle. If the steps you have put in are going to take too much of your energy or too much of your willpower, then I'm afraid, my friends, you will get back to your normal patterns. Even if the activities are small, just put it in a way so that you do not have to put too much effort against your life force. See, your life is moving like this today. Now you're creating something which should ideally fit this kind of a lifestyle. If you're creating something which really drifts the life, it's not going to be sustainable, because a time will come when you will rest, or you will be sleeping, or you would be taking your eyes off the target, and then it will again follow its normal pattern. So it is always a good strategy to get your process aligned to your lifestyle and see what are the changes you can bring and incorporate in your existing lifestyle so that they become sustainable. This is a very important thing. I've seen people setting up very ambitious goals for themselves and creating their day in a way that totally puts them off their entire lifestyle. They do it for a week, they do it for 10 days, and then they give up because it is not aligned to their life. And this is a very important principle, so you have to ensure that this is done. So in my case, if I want to eat healthy, then what I do is I ensure that I have all the carbs and things like that in the breakfast. Afternoon, I like to have it lighter and I can eat little rice, but in the night I do not have any carbs at all. And I have been doing this activity for last 5 years. And that's how I went from 91 kgs to 70 kgs, just sticking to my processes. I do not worry about the outcome. I only worry about the processes. And my commitment is towards my process goal, towards my method, because that is something which I control. So guys, we are getting to the end of our goal setting thing, how to set up smart goals. So we have covered SMART framework, and today we talked about PCE. I'm going to tell you a very cheap way of remembering PCE. PCE stands for Priyanka Chopra Experiment. I know it's a bad way, but it at least sticks. So whenever you are setting up your goals, remember Priyanka Chopra. You have to ensure that your goals are positively stated. You have to ensure that they are in your control, and you have to ensure that they are ecological in nature. In your control means you have to create a process goal and bring everything in your control so that you can do those activities on daily basis. Ecological in nature means that whatever you are setting up as a process goal, it should be sustainable and it should fit your lifestyle. So guys, this is it for this video. Please say to yourself, I am responsible for my life and I design my life.